All right, what is up, guys? It is Bad News Bears. I know the YouTube channel has been lacking. There's a few videos I want to get out, and life happens. If you know, you know. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know that you guys want me to make content like this. Seeing responses does motivate me to keep doing it, and I'm hopefully gonna one day do it as a part-time job. Who knows? So it's time for a tier list. Vegeta's been out for a while. Like I said, I've been lacking. I'm sorry. A lot changed this season, so the meta has shaken up quite a bit, but we might see some former familiar faces back at the top. So going in a release order and by role, starting with Goku. Super Saiyan Goku. We recently had a lot of buffs, or well, not a lot of buffs, but a significant buff to build up. Tankier builds are better now, which Goku was already running towards the end of last season, and fights are lasting longer. Secure also still very important. Some of the higher end characters getting nerfed. Super Saiyan Goku, stocks are rising. I think he is best in slot, very, very, very strong character right now. With these longer fights, with the ability to go build up solid barrier, or even build up giant slayer, or if you have a gammas, for example, which we'll talk about later, you could go the snowball solid barrier. I think right now his best build is build up solid barrier, backstab, a very strong character, very hard to deal with, great secure, and all around I think the best DPS in the game again. Figure that one out. Piccolo, I think Piccolo's great in role. I think Piccolo is maybe the strongest mage currently in the game. I know that's going to be a hot take. Piccolo is very, very strong. Light grenade is undeniable. Skill 2 damage up. Oh, talking about skill 2 damage up, that helped Goku too. It did hurt Piccolo a little bit, but I think he's still significantly viable. He is fantastic with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, which is notable, and he is fantastic with Cooler, which is notable, and we'll talk about why Cooler is notable in a bit. Yeah, I think he's great in role. By the way, characters are going to be ordered within the tier, so if I put 18 higher than Piccolo, it means I think 18 is better than Piccolo. Speaking of 18, I don't really love 18 right now. She doesn't do great, in my opinion, in a tankier build-up meta. I think, well, while technically she got, in my opinion, a buff. So if you don't know, the change to her in between season 1 and 2 was her Destructo disc ability went from going from 1 disc, leveling up to 2 discs, then leveling up to 3 discs. It's now just 2 discs across the board. This is a snowball character, and when I say snowball, I don't mean the item. She's a snowball character who struggles early game and needs to get out of that early game. So having 2 Destructo discs early was a really good change for her, and I think overall would have been a buff. But the meta has shaken up in a way that is really disadvantageous to her, and with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta being such a threat, and the prominence of Cooler as well in the counter meta, Android 18 doesn't do well at all. She struggles, especially too with DPS building buildup. So the gammas, Goku, I mean Trunks, even techs are building buildup, so she struggles. I think she's fallen down to subpar in role, while if anything, despite being buffed. Trunks, I think Trunks does perform a bit better than her. I think he is a solid assassin. I think you can't go wrong picking Trunks. He does still need a lot to go right. He can use build up. I don't love using build up on him. He does still have great secure. He has a fantastic fight in skill rush attack, whatever it's called, team go rush, the one where if you're standing next to a teammate and you're rush attacking, you go fast. Trunks does fantastic in that mode. Trunks is really, really good in skill 2 up. His jump does a ton of damage. It's very good for setting up executes with your 1. So I do think Trunks is looking pretty fine in the meta right now. Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans. I think Vegeta is actually in a pretty good spot. As someone who doesn't love Vegeta, I think Vegeta does pretty well right now. And it's for one simple reason. He does not lose to Cooler or Vegeta. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I should say. Neither of those characters absolutely dog walk Super Saiyan Vegeta. Super Saiyan Vegeta has the best tank secure, which is great against Super Saiyan 4 because Super Saiyan 4 has bad tank secure. So if you're stuck in the 1v1 where Android 16 spawns top and it's tank v tank. Usually the Super Saiyan Vegeta is going to get the Kai, as well as the neutrals, can invade off of that. If he has level advantage, really good. While I don't think he necessarily beats Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in the 2v2 lane, he doesn't outright lose. He shouldn't be dying. If you're dying on Super Saiyan Vegeta, you're playing very poorly, which is massive. No, one other tank can say that, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. And we're actually going to talk about him right now. Cooler. Cooler is the only other tank that handles Cooler is, sorry, not the only other tank. He's the only other tank that survives Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. He's the only tank that can beat Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Cooler is the counter. Yes, Cooler got nerfed super hard. He has less survivability. His cooldown on his 1 is longer. His cooldown on his 2 is longer. He still has this Giga broken ult. He still has an unfathomably broken mechanic with his passive, which got buffed, by the way. I think in the long run, it's technically weaker because you have the abilities less often. But high pressure, which if you try to use a movement ability while affected by high pressure, you get stunned, cancels out two of Vegeta's moves, one of which is his most important move, the kick. Vegeta, if you cancel his kick, he has to stall out the fight. High pressure also hits through shield. I mean, Cooler is just all around fantastic. Once you get used to the nerfs, you'll realize how much of a monster this character still is. So I am going to put him in A. Spoiler alert for who's going to be an S, I suppose. Zamasu. I think towards the end of the season, I was getting really favorable on Zamasu. That is definitely not the case anymore, and I'm going to put him in fine in roll. Actually, I don't even know. I might put him in subpar and roll. I think I'm going to put him in subpar and roll. He can still do things. I think you really run a big risk against going against Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and he also doesn't do great into Cooler. So your two most common tanks are going to be the two tanks you're seeing the most. If we're talking about in a draft environment, if they were to add that to rank tomorrow or for draft tournaments, I think Zamasu's value probably goes up very significantly. If you can guarantee that you're against a Caulifla or for some reason a Cell, Baby, or any of the other tanks, then yes. But for the time being, I don't think you see that with Zamasu. So I'm going to put him in C. Gohan. I mean, they didn't change. If anything, they buffed him because build-up's better. Yeah, Gohan's S. They didn't change him for some reason. So, and not a whole lot to say about that. Krillin still sucks. He's not great. Subpar and roll. This is how I feel about this order. I guess I could put Zamasu up probably. Yeah, I'll do that. Mines are super predictable. We are getting away from a Ki Blast meta, but Krillin doesn't love build-up. Krillin doesn't do enough damage if build-up is being built. Like two enemies that are building build-up. He's not hypermobile. He does have decent CC. He does have great first strike potential. I mean, he should have guaranteed first strike, but outside of that, he's not doing too hot. Boo. I think Boo is actually pretty good. I'm gonna put him in B, though I think he could be A quality in the cooperative play. The issue is I'm going to have so many techs in A that I feel like I just need to move B down or Boo down just out of getting bullied out, I suppose. The Demon King Dabura, I mean, the buffs didn't help. Even the build-up buff, he's just a flawed character design within the game. He needs more survivability in his base kit to make him playable. I think he would do better as a tank. So unfortunately, I do have to put Dabura in C. Lord Bojack. We are Bojacking it all the way up to A tier. This character does obscene amounts of damage. His slow is just divine. Skill 2 damage up. He performs super well. He does well in medical pods. I mean, the only thing is he self-stuns, and his ult still isn't great. His ult's better, it still sucks. Self-stuns. He self-stuns on his ult. He self-stuns on his 1. He self-stuns on his 3. He self-slows on his 2. This character is struggling by design of the kit. They did reduce the slow, they reduced the self-stuns, and they sped up his ult. All great. I'm talking about him like he's bad. We went from D to A in one patch for Bojack. uh he's good. He's super viable. I think he is the second best mage in the game, maybe possibly third best. We're gonna talk about a hot take maybe with Super Saiyan 3 Goku when I say second best mage. Super strong. I honestly like it. I feel like it's a toss-up, but Piccolo is just so safe, and if you are a good Piccolo, the things you can do. Oh, but the defense is kind of important right now, isn't it? Oh, I'm convincing myself. I'm letting myself talk up Bojack. I'm just gonna leave Piccolo and Bojack side by side. I'm gonna leave them like, you know, I'm gonna leave it like this. Oob, yeah, build up meta, having a hard time killing people. His buffs was borderline meaningless. I'm going to put him in subpar in role. I don't think you have a reason to be playing Oob right now outside of his really good secure. He does hit hard once you make it to late game, but I am going to put him in subpar in role. Frieza. Ball from Grace? Frieza's Zarbon got nerfed on a 2-second cooldown, which means Frieza can no longer guarantee lane farm with Zarbon as well as contest Kai with Zarbon, which is really bad. Also, skill damage 1-up being gone is bad for Frieza. Frieza has a harder time farming backs because Zarbon is on cooldown for longer. And it's a build-up meta, which Frieza hates. Frieza doesn't build-up, and Frieza can't kill people because they're building build-up. So, with that being said, I think Frieza is our first bad in role, unfortunately. A big fall from grace. Also, Goku secure back in the meta means Frieza has a hard time ripping bosses. Baby! Another really big fall from grace, and this is purely meta-wise. You can never lock this character in knowing Vegeta's in the game. You can just never lock Baby in. Vegeta is so meta-defining, and when we're saying if Vegeta gets nerfed to a point where he's not picked every game, sure, Baby will come back up. In a patch, Baby will probably come back up, but right now you cannot pick Baby. There's no way you can pick Baby. If Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's in the lobby, you are dead on cooldown. There's nothing you can do. It's insane. Caulifla, this is gonna be a hot take. I'm dropping Caulifla down to B. Provoke got nerfed. Her 3 got buffed, but you could argue nerfed. It's going to be punished more by more aware players, but also it can block beams for longer, which is a hindrance to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, for example. She doesn't do well into Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and she does fine-ish okay into Cooler. You're losing a lot of the other tanks that she dumpstered and made herself look better by dumpstering. Super Saiyan 3 Goku's falling out of the meta, which hurts her. Android 18's falling out of the meta, which hurts her. She does get to feast on Piccolo. Oob's weaker, which hurts her. Zamasu's weaker, which hurts her. I'm trying to think of like other characters that the Gammas are better, which actually does help her a significant amount. In the end, I think with the provoke changes as well as Vegeta coming into the meta, I think I'm just gonna drop her down to B. She's a safe pick. You can pick her. I think she's kind of in the Zamasu slot now of last season, where she's like that curveball. You can pick her and do amazing, but also not everyone's gonna be doing amazing on her, and it's gonna be a little inconsistent. Diama Goku. I think Diama Goku is still absolutely fantastic. Great character, runs Snowball super well. One of the last great Snowball runners currently. I think Piccolo is the other one. Bojack can run it, but I also think Strategic Escape is viable on him. I mean, you could even go build up Bojack. It's kind of nuts, actually. Yeah, high damage, solid mobility. Again, with talking about Diama, we know it's the same old song and dance. You don't self-stun on literally anything. You self-slow on your 3. Well, I guess you self-stun on your ult. You self-slow on your 3, but even then you get defense up and movement speed up. So like, does it even count? Not really. Yeah, great secure, great damage, solid survivability. You can run build up. I personally don't like it, but he can use build up. The Gammas. I think the Gammas are the other best DPS. Another build-up abuser that can also go into Snowball if you're running both. I think if you are running both, one of them has to go Snowball, and if you're stacking, I think it comes down to who's more wanting to play their life. No one else secures the Gammas on third boss. They can run triple green, which is absolutely devastating if they need to. Their not rework, but like giga buffs that they got in season 1 were absolutely amazing. I think with the build-up changes, this character is absolutely giga nuts. Still, much like Baby, because Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's in the game, you just can't pick this character. He's virtually unplayable. You will die on cooldown unless you are the Giga Nuts, and then in which case you're probably not getting farm. Kale, it's a build-up meta. Kale struggles now. Unfortunately. Kale got hit really hard by build-up meta. I think Kale's fine. You can pilot Kale. She does well behind a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but she doesn't perform great. Again, talking about, I should bounce back to these 3 right here. Talking about being with a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, these 3 characters play so well behind a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, or not behind, but alongside. And we're talking about pressuring towers. These 3 want to be close up, so they get dunks off very, very easily behind Vegeta's shield and through Vegeta ult. A Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I should say. Android 18. I think Android 18 is a fantastic tech currently. The shield fall off change is great. He got more damage on his 2, was it? He got another change that was good. The character feels really good now. He's super playable. He does well in a slow meta, which we are in a slow meta. So I think Android 17 is great. Hit also great. For all the cringe reasons, I think he is feeling more easily handleable. I think people are getting better, which is why I'm putting him below 17. I think people are getting better at dealing with the character, but the reality is there. And also skill damage 2 up. This character's giga broken. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This is such a hot take. The character struggles against Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. His beam got nerfed. We're back to running Super Saiyan Goku for secure. He can't build up. He struggles to punish build up. I'm actually going to put him down here. Yeah. Not a great look for Super Saiyan 3 Goku right now, if I'm being honest with you. He just doesn't feel as impactful as he was. He has a hard time sniping kills. He does still force solid barrier, which is notable. But I mean, are people really complaining? Then instead of defense step, they just go solid barrier pursuer or solid barrier limit breaking jump or backstab. So I mean, he's not even really getting that much value out in the end. Gotenks. Gotenks is still a hit counter. Still absolutely fantastic kit. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I'm gonna put Gotenks like here. I think he's still super strong. Still the second best tech in the game. Absolutely nuts alt, donuts nuts, ghosts are fine. Again, they counter hit really well, so I guess that's the plus. And then his stun is very good. It's just about if you are good at Gotenks. Topo is pretty fucking bad. He's getting out secured by the Goku that's in every game. His counter is super counterable, ha. Pretty bad range. The only thing that's good is his chase down. Here, I'll do this though. I'll be respectable about it. I just don't see any reason to pick Topo. He also struggles to kill people now because Gokus are building build up, Daimas are building build up, Gammas are building build up, freaking Bojacks are building build up, tanks are building build up defense step. Like, he's just having such a hard time. And then the unkillable Demon King himself, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Yeah. What isn't there to say? If this character worked perfectly, he'd be even better. But he is a little inconsistent with his stuns, which is something I might make a video about. The world's most disgusting stun, stunning you for 2 seconds against the wall, insane displacement, massive shield, unbelievable survivability because of the overhealth from the shield and the CC. Another pull C. Every single one of Vegeta's abilities is a displacement CC, which is insane. Whoever thought of that was an insane person. The pull, the kick, the push from the wall, which can also be a pull if you're going backwards, and then the push from his ultimate. The only negative things about Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta that I could say, he struggles against high pressure, cooler. He doesn't have great secure if it's not skill damage 2 up or super start, and even then his secure against Kai is terrible. and bosses, and it's all kind of sucks. It's just a big displacement CC. It does almost no damage, and it's not even worth leveling past level 1. I think you should level it level 1 in most cases, but I think it's not worth leveling beyond that. So here is, in my opinion, the tier list. I almost want to move Cell here just so it's tanks and all in the... Oh, I guess Goku's there. Never mind. There's the tier list. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know you want to see more. Go follow me over on Twitch. I love you. There's 2 videos on screen right now. Give those a watch. That's all for me. Bears out. Peace.